Hey people, it is Wednesday, August the 28th. The time is 11:07 in the morning and it's about 24 Celsius, but feeling quite muggy and humid with a possibility of rain. I'm on Yonge Street heading south towards Queen, and I'm going to head east along Queen Street East. Take a walk along that side of Queen Street, which I haven't done in a little while, maybe going down as far as River Street. And then I might loop back up onto Shooter Street to go back the other way, and eventually I'll end up at a grocery store in the Regent Park neighborhood. So I guess I have to go around all the construction here for the Ontario line. Some progress is being made. It's crossing Victoria Street. This is my first pre-recorded video I'm doing in Toronto since my little trip to Montreal. I do have a number of Montreal videos yet to post, but I thought I should also make some new Toronto content and mix it up a bit. Walking past St. Mike's Hospital. Here's the Metropolitan United Church. Let's take a little walk through the grounds here. And I'll loop back over to Queen Street. Oh, they have something set up here. We got, looks like a hot dog stand. at church. I'm going to cross to the south side. All these buildings are slated to be redeveloped here. They're all shuttered. In the meantime, the ones on the other corner are already well underway as that development has begun. A very tall residential building will be going around this corner. And they kept the facades of the old historic building with the cornice. Looks like they're doing some shoring right now. Downtown cameras. Henry's Cameras was on this corner as well, but they relocated due to the upcoming redevelopment. I imagine downtown camera here will have to do the same. Constant construction all along this part of Queen Street here. And it continues all the way up to Sherbourne because the new Moss Park subway station is also under construction just a bit further to the east. Persian supermarket. I've never noticed this before. I'm not sure how long that's been there. Jarvis. I think Jarvis Street was closed partially this morning due to an accident. I think it's most likely reopened by now.
I was wearing a mask on my face because it worked. Because I picked my face.
Got the Moss Park Armory across the street. And Moss Park here, which is now partially under construction for the new subway station. Seems like a huge plot of land they're using just to build a subway station. We're going to be walking through Queen and Sherbourne just up ahead. The infamous intersection on the east side of downtown. Looks pretty quiet up there right now. This is called Stonecutters Lane. And here's Sherbourne. North up towards Dundas and Sherbourne. This is a very interesting section of Sherbourne to walk along if you head north from here, which I've done just recently actually in another video. These old buildings have a lot of character. They're definitely in need of some refurbishment. The 501 Queen heading to Neville Park. There's a loop there where it will turn around. That's at the eastern end of the beaches. And a large new development. It's going to be rising on this side. Let's cross here. It's over here we have Kim's Convenience. A landmark now in the Moss Park neighborhood. I've been inside there in another video. The inside doesn't look the same as the store did on the show. That was a set. But the exterior was used, obviously. Moss Park Market and the Moss Park Apartments right behind.
Call 01, Queen, 2 Europe, and K.
So we're going to be coming through the Corktown neighborhood, one of the oldest downtown neighborhoods. Some nice murals on this side of town. They're not all on the west side. But the west side is definitely known as the more street art heavy side of downtown. That's where Graffiti Alley is and many other big pieces on that side. This side has always been considered the sort of more sketchy side of downtown. Here's Parliament Street. This former Shoppers Drug Mart will be torn down, and a residential tower will be rising there. So there's big changes coming to this sleepy end of Queen Street East here. It's always been a bit down at the heels. St. Paul's Basilica. There are some neat shops and restaurants all along here, though. You just kind of have to know that they're there. And this is a pretty huge parking lot to be right on a major street like this, but since this area has been down at the hills for so long, there hasn't really been any development pressure to fill these parking lots in, at least this one. But that might be changing as we saw these new towers rising. Nice old townhomes. And some modern additions. These were built when a fire destroyed one of the old historic townhomes on the end here. I think they did a good job incorporating the new developments in with the old. Obviously they don't look the same, but it doesn't completely ruin the character of the stretch. That has been sold. It looks like it needs some work. I wonder what's going to become of that. This one is vacant, as is next door. apartments above, though, are occupied from what I can see. And this one also. And this one. I wonder if that little stretch has some redevelopment plans. Oftentimes, if you see a continuous row of vacant commercial properties next to one another like that, that means that whole block has been purchased for redevelopment. A lot of these are vacant as well across the street. You can tell how old that commercial strip is just by looking at it. Here's River Street, so I'm going to head north and get off of Queen. Lower River, that'll take you down to Underpass Park. And Corktown Common is also down that way. I just felt a raindrop, and another one. This is the Toronto Humane Society. And a very big parking lot for this beer store here. I think this beer store is also on the chopping block and will be redeveloped at some point. A lot of the old beer stores in the downtown area are meeting the same fate. And here's where Shooter Street begins if you head west, which I'm going to do just for a little ways. Got the iconic Toronto raccoons doing all sorts of activities over there. And the Regent Park neighborhood is right here. I wanted to get this awesome shot looking straight down Shooter with the CN Tower. Lots of screeching children. They don't sound like they're having very much fun. Regent Park Athletic Field. And a running oval. There's a nice protected bike lane on this part of Shooter. I think it extends down most of the street actually. Sumac Street. That'll take you up to Dundas Street, heading north through Regent Park. This neighborhood is still under a massive redevelopment. It's been undertaken in phases for the last 15 years or so. Yeah, these kids seem to be having a lot more fun than the ones back there. Nice townhomes. Some nicer than others. There's this massive school, Nelson Mandela Park Public School. It used to have a different name once upon a time. which I don't really know offhand, but I'm sure someone watching will know. It looks like we're getting our first signs of leaves coming off the trees here. Unless these are old leftover leaves from last fall. It's still quite early for Toronto though to be showing the effects of autumn. That usually doesn't really kick in until after September. All right, let's head north here on Sackville into Regent Park. So everything around us is a relatively recent build within the last 10 years. All the old buildings that were here were demolished. Those dated back as far as the 1940s, late 1940s. This was Canada's largest public housing project when it was first developed back then. And they're busy demolishing some of those old buildings a bit further to the north, the last remaining section of the old original Regent Park buildings. This is really a mixed-use community now. It has public housing, it has market rate rental apartments, it has condominiums, and a fair bit of new retail that wasn't here before. As well as restaurants. There's Dundas Street. And some of the buildings are quite nice, actually. See, one of the newest buildings under construction over there. That's at the corner of Gerrard and Parliament. That's over on the side that was recently demolished, and some of it is still being demolished. The last remaining parcel of the original Regent Park buildings. I'm almost at the grocery store. I'll wait for all these slow-moving cars to move past. I could cross up at Parliament where the lights are, but instead I'm standing here waiting for the traffic to pass for some strange reason. And it'll be nice to go in the air-conditioned confines of the Freshco here. But since I'm just about to go into the grocery store, I think it's time to wrap up this walk. I hope you enjoyed the Wednesday late morning walk on another muggy day. We started at Queen and Yonge and made our way east along Queen, checking out what's new and exciting on the sleepy side of Queen Street, and then continuing up River and a bit of Shooter and into Regent Park. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts or not. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.